Hello everyone, this is Jesse Phillips with Waypoint Technology Group, here to provide you guys another tech tip. This one will be about Trimble Business Center and Trimble RealWorks network licenses, just the ins and outs of how to get those going on a server, and also how to apply a product key. So what we're going to cover today, first and foremost, is the difference between, some of the terminology is confusing, so what's the difference between a key ID and a product key? So your key ID is really a serial number. This is a unique serial number of your license of Trimble Business Center or Trimble RealWorks that shouldn't change. The product key, on the other hand, or the product code, this is something that is not unique. It'll be different. You'll receive a product key when you first purchase a network license, and to install that network license, you install it via a product key or code on your server machine, which we'll get to here in a minute. Product keys are also used for upgrades to your network license if you wanted to update the software maintenance to keep it within software warranty, so you can always download and run the most recent version of the software. Or if you wanted to add a seat to a network license, add a certain module, these are all done via a product key. Each product key you receive will always be a different number each time, whereas your key ID or serial number of your license will or should never change. So just wanted to clear that up to start. We're also going to be talking about how to apply a product key, whether it's initially to install your network license on a server or to provide an upgrade. And the three things we want to look at before we even go down that road are installing the Hasp license updater on your server machine, making sure Sentinel drivers are up to date on your server and your workstations that are going to be connecting via your network, and also what ports we need to make sure are open. We'll also touch on some license manager tips within the software, and occasionally we may need to go an offline route. So if we can't apply a product key via the online route, there is an offline route to get these upgrades accomplished, so we'll cover that as well. So what you'll definitely need access to your company's server machine that will host this network license. So if that isn't you, you'll need to get in touch with a person in IT that can help you with that. You'll need an internet connection, admin privileges, and then your network license for TBC or Trimble RealWorks, either an existing license or one you just purchased. Alright, so first let's talk about those three things in blue. Before we even install the network license or try to do an upgrade via a product key, those three things in blue are really important. So let's start with the Hasp license updater. You can download the Hasp license updater utility. If you go to the Trimble Field Systems Help Portal, look under Office Software, Trimble Business Center, and we'll be going to this Utilities, Licensing, and Installation Support tab. So this will pull up a document that's super handy, a lot of good resources here if you really want to brush up and understand better how this Hasp licensing works with your network license. We're just going to focus on this one point here mainly, the Trimble Hasp license updater. So you want to make sure you download the most recent version of that onto the server, and like it describes here, this utility is used to update both TBC and Trimble RealWorks licenses without actually having the software installed, so beneficial for using on a server. You can also use it to update dongle licenses. You can read more about it from this bulletin, or you can click download here. So if you click download, it'll download this file here, this executable, which I actually already downloaded. So once you download that executable and run that executable, that should install the Hasp license updater utility. If you go to the Windows search bar, type in Hasp, it should be one of the first hits here. So this Hasp license updater app. So once again, make sure we're on the server machine when we're doing this. If I run that utility, you see it opens that utility, and this is where I would enter my product key or product code to install a new network license of Trimble Business Center or Trimble RealWorks on a server. This is also where I could go to, if I have an existing network license, and apply a product key to apply an upgrade. Before we install or upgrade, the second item on the list is the Sentinel drivers. So you want to make sure the Sentinel drivers are up to date both on the server and on your workstations that are going to be connecting to this license via your network. So to check that, if you go to Sentinel Admin Control Center link, You can see at the bottom right here, it tells you the version. So this is 10.12. So if you type into a search engine Sentinel LDK Windows GUI runtime installer, most likely your first hit will be the most recent version, which in this case is 10.12. So when I open that, you just want to go down to where it says download, click on download, and you'll have to agree to these licensing terms, you accept, and then eventually your download will start. So it'll download this zip file here. You want to go to your downloads, extract all, which I've already done. So you'll have a folder, Sentinel LDK runtime. You'll dial into a subfolder and then run the Hasp user setup executable. So it might take a few minutes. That'll update. You'll have to agree to everything it asks for. That'll update your drivers to 10.12 if they aren't already. That's currently the most recent version, January 8th of 2025. So the last of the 3 items before installing your network license or applying a product key would be just make sure certain ports are open. Sometimes IT will disable certain ports, but for this Trimble licensing to work, you're going to need ports 1947, 443, and 80. They have to be opened. So once we verify these 3 things are good, we've got the Hasp license updater on the server, our Sentinel drivers are up to date on the server and our workstations, and ports 1947, 443, and 80 are open. We can proceed with either installing our network license or applying a product key and applying an upgrade. So if I go back to my Trimble Hasp license updater, so upon purchase of a new network license, or if you recently upgraded your software maintenance, added a seat, added a module, some type of upgrade, you would have received an email that looks like this, telling you, thank you for your Trimble Business Center, Trimble RealWorks perpetual license order. It'll tell you your product key for key ID, so this is your serial number, and then below is the product key, which will be applying these upgrades or will be installing your network license initially. If I go back to my Trimble Hasp license updater, you'll see there is a place to apply that 19-digit code, or that is where it wants you to put in the product key. If you enter the product key you're provided and hit upgrade, if this is your first time and you're installing a new network license, it'll install that network license on your server. And you could review different details of that license by going to the Sentinel Admin Control Center link. You would look for the vendor ID is 91463 for Trimble. You could look at the features of your network license. It'll tell you your key ID, your serial number, and the concurrency will be your number of seats, your network license seats. So I'm just on my PC right now. I'm not on a server with a network license, so that's why nothing is showing here. But on your case, you'll be on the server and you'll actually see your network license. Similarly, if you're applying a product key as an upgrade, it's going to be the same process. Make sure you have, if there's multiple key IDs on your server, make sure you have the correct key ID or serial number selected. That's part of that email. And then simply enter your product key and click upgrade. That is the online route for installing a network license or upgrading a network license being a product key. That's the online route. If occasionally due to network security or restrictions, you may get some errors, it just may not go through. So in that case, you'll need to go the offline route. So for that, we'll need to go back to the Sentinel Admin Control Center, and you'll find your key ID, your serial number in the list, and there should be a Get C2V button here on the right. You'll need to click that, and in your downloads folder, you'll end up with this C2V or client to vendor file. So you need to send that to us at Waypoint, and then eventually we would respond back with a V2C file, which you would go to update and attach on the left here. You'd navigate to where you save that V2C file, you'd hit apply file. That's the offline route for installing a network license initially or applying a product key as an upgrade. If you don't see this C2V option next to your key ID, you may need to go to configuration on the bottom left. Scroll down, and this generate C2V file for Hasp key may need to be enabled, and then you'd hit submit, and then when you go back you should see that C2V option. So that's the offline route, which occasionally you may have to go through if the online route does not work. Once you've got your network license installed, or once you've got your upgrade applied, you'd want to test it, make sure it's working, make sure your workstation can connect to the network license on the server. Just a couple tips as far as that goes. I'm going to open the Trimble Business Center software as an example and go to the Support tab of the ribbon and the License Manager. So let's pretend we're on a workstation and we want to connect to that network license. Something that often holds people up is the license type may not be set correctly. So if you're trying to connect to a network license, you're going to make sure the license type is set to perpetual network, and then there'll be a drop down where you should, if you're connected to the network, you should see one or more server options that you can connect to. So you want to select the one where your network license has been installed. And then once you click apply, your licensed features should show up in this box here. The correct maintenance expiration or software maintenance date and the key ID of the license you're pulling should match. Occasionally, your workstation, you might need to point your workstation to the server if it's a more complicated network with multiple subnets. So we've got a Trimble tech sheet on that, so feel free to reach out to us if that's the case, if your workstation can't find the network license on the server. Some of the other license or subtypes, just out of curiosity sake, if you're not using a network license, if you're using a dongle license, you'd go to perpetual hardware. If you use a subscription, you'd use subscription, so on and so forth. Within the license manager, you also have a quick key to the Sentinel admin control center on the workstation. Hope you found this helpful if you're installing a network license or if you are upgrading a network license via product key. Once again, my name is Jesse Phillips with Waypoint Technology Group. We are a authorized Trimble mapping and geospatial distributor in the Northeast United States. Our territories in New York, New Jersey, and all of New England. Feel free to reach out to us at our help portal, waypointtech.freshdesk.com, via email, tech support at waypointtech.com. Check out our YouTube or give a call at the number above. Thanks a lot for your time and have a good day.